No bloopers until the official.
Now it's recording again, but it started over again.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, gosh,
Okay. Everybody get their wiggles out.
Okay. Anybody? Anyone?
And Dave's like, you guys are insane. I'm the Undertaker. I don't know, this is my impression now.
Rest in peace. And then you gotta roll the eyes back. He did that by accident. He said he did that by accident in a match, and it just became a thing that he would do, rolling the eyes back.
It must have hurt after a while.
What?
Doing that all the time.
Yeah, they just
Sorry, bad impression.
he did it all the time.
No offense, but yeah, I mean that's part of the gig.
So how's your guys' week?
Not bad. Overall it was went fast. Of course, I mean that's an easy thing, but it was a little challenging right now with things.
Anything interesting happen?
I'm planning on going to watch the new Minecraft movie today.
Yep.
So, out of all the rest of the week, I've been waiting for today.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna do a spoiler review on that. So you're gonna hear our likes and dislikes. I wish I had a notepad to write it all down so that way I could.
How will it be? I might actually be more into it, even though it kind of looks ridiculous to me looking at the trailers. If I actually played the game, I've played it before. I'm not into Minecraft.
I'm trying to get him to play it, but
I'm not into Minecraft.
It's one of the things where you gotta have like at least a week of that's what you want to play, just to get anything done. I mean, I don't know how to do. I've never gotten to like the bosses because there's actually bosses in it. You have to find them.
I remember
you have to make a portal and all this stuff.
Digging all, I see people do.
I never did any
stuff.
of that. I mean, I've done it in somebody else's room because they knew how to do it.
Right. I got it as a gift, so I was playing a little bit of the story, but at the same time, it was one of those ones where I just knew that it would take time, and I had to be invested into it to do it. So that's, I think, the main thing why I didn't play more is because it's just
and I played
Knights or even Conan. Yeah. Starting that out in like scratch, if you don't have some guidance, it'll take you a good hour just to get the idea along what you got to do to survive.
And I've played it on the Xbox and the PlayStation, so I have millions of hours on both because the Xbox was better for a while, like their version of it. For whatever reason, I don't remember what it was.
Well, they own it.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
They own it now, yeah.
We got to do that too. You told me give you some time on Fortnite, and then I won't be such shy about it. It's just like
one of these days, if you when you come over at or I go over to your house, I'll have to show you what you got to do, tell you what you, and it's actually fun because you can play solos, which is just you against everybody, which I play a lot, and then I come in first place a lot. It's not like I'm good or anything. I just hide a lot. And then,
you got strategy.
And then I do the other one, whatever the kids, they don't like playing it that often, but they do with me once in a while.
What, Fortnite?
Nobody likes campers, though, right?
Like what?
No,
campers.
You can't really camp.
You can't really camp. That one, because the board, it gets smaller and smaller.
Well, yeah, once that thing
you can't really camp. Like, you can crouch, but you can't
kind of like that too,
go prone.
Sometimes. Yeah. Oh, you can't go prone?
You
can still hide.
Yeah, you can still hide in the bushes. Yeah.
So does it, not to go off course and other stuff we got, but like, does it have any dynamic when you're doing that? If you go, if you kneel, does it make your armor or your attacks get stronger?
No.
Oh, some games are like that, or if you go prone.
Nothing cool like that. It's just it's a cheesy kid game that everybody likes.
That's the thing. I overthink, so it's just like don't need to worry about all that stuff. Just go in there, funsies.
The prone. It's not Call of Duty there.
Right.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
That's a good
one. What's that, lady? You're gonna use a snapshot of lady. It's like commentary.
In case you guys haven't noticed, the Wookiee's gone. The Wookiee's left the room. The wife won the battle. It was a long fight, but essentially, I mean, no kisses are no kisses. You know what I'm saying?
The Sabres ain't in last, but I'm a Sabres fan. Just saying.
Yeah. When you start getting no kisses, then it's time to shave it off. So.
Yep.
And then you look like certain people that is unproductive. You know what I'm saying? They look like a certain somebody too much.
Well, we got professional. Sorry, I gotta let mine go too.
I did.
Let it go.
A little bit too much like somebody.
Yeah, it's getting warmer too.
Spring's
here.
I got a lot of cool stuff in the show today. I'm gonna start off I just thought of it. I'm gonna start off with like a dad joke every time now, just to kind of break the ice. I think. So I'm gonna. So this one is gonna be one that is passed down.
The look on your face, like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
This one's been passed down from generation to generation. This is one.
Are we gonna get a fence? Just hit eyes.
No. This is one my grandma used to say all the time, and then every time she told it, it was like the first time hearing it.
All right, everybody, get ready.
You guys have probably heard me say it too. What's the sharpest thing in the world?
Fart.
Yep. A fart because it can go through your pants without making a hole.
That was quick. But the explanation, say
exactly.
Say again.
You need the punchline. A fart because it can go through your pants without making a hole, which is
sharper
ingenious.
than cheese.
It's ingenious, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
cuts like a knife.
So let's get started in the Broken Controller Club. We're seeing some new faces, so that's a good sign. Cool. I mean, not a whole lot, but we're seeing some new faces. Joseph Erickson, he's one of the OGs from back in the RC Crazy day. How you doing, Joseph? Thanks for stopping by. Tommy G, he's another OG.
All right.
Do some Switch game with him sometimes, and
cool.
He's a good OG fan from back in the day. And then the new one, Pook Ninja, he's been showing up a few times. You may see his name show up from time to time in the comments. Pook Ninja, he's got a gamer channel, right around the same as us.
Cool.
Right around the same subscriber mark as us. And then of course Michael McReynolds, his channel is Michael Drones 58. He's an OG from back in the RC Crazy days. He's actually still got two. He's got the first RC Crazy hat ever made.
Wow.
And then he's got, because of that, I would send him one every year. Just because it was So cool. So like at the end of his videos, the drone would be coming down, and it would show the shot of the hat as it came down. So it was kind of cool. But anyways, he stopped by. He finally figured out who I was on the channel because I still check out his videos from time to time. He's still flying. Cool. Not as much as it used to be because all the laws and stuff now, but. And then we have another new face.
Hey lady, you making your rounds?
I think this guy's from like Japan. And his name is, because I checked out his channel, it's like all the old retro like Japanese version games.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. His name is Almedia channel. He's a foreign channel, I'm guessing from Japan. So how's it going all the way over on the other side of the world? Thanks for stopping by. So anyways, how you become part of the Broken Controller Club is you just got to stop by and leave a comment. That way we know you're live, we know you're there. Give you a shout out on the podcast. And so that's how you do it. And then, so now we're going to move on to, thank you for your support, everybody. We're going to move on to the Broken Controller Club. The Broken Controller Club, which we already did. Rewind it.
Stop that, reverse it.
I just started drinking coffee, so you got to bear with me.
You can't do the Jim Carrey rewind thing like he did in Ace Ventura there. I'm not good enough to do that.
I would like to ask you a question. Do you have a minute?
Replay that in super slow motion.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that glove. There ain't any rights on that, is it? Just fun? Okay, just,
No, we didn't play a clip or anything around it.
Yeah, there's no audio and there's no video.
Yeah, so you can say whatever,
Go Bills.
Go Sabres!
Starts there. Sabres too.
Buffalo.
Right. Yeah, Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
That's right. Bills Mafia.
So now we're going to move on to the next segment. It's called Gaming News and Beyond. So, we're gonna talk about some of the videos that we've uploaded. It's been a couple weeks since we've sat down and filmed. I mean, we ain't got to go into detail over these. I'm just gonna bring them up.
Okay.
So if you guys have been paying attention, we uploaded Booger Man. That was the first time I ever played that. Did you guys ever play that?
It's been a while, but yeah.
It was one of those ones where it's just like when games were just like anything went, and it was just kind of okay.
It is what it is.
Like it is what it is.
Well, the market was so flooded with everything. Nintendo did that more than anybody. Like back in the day, the original Nintendo system, everybody made a game for that thing.
That's something too. I mean, just think Booger Man.
Yeah.
But hey, creative license there.
How can they even come up with that?
Garbage pail kids.
I started liking it, but I ran out of time.
The superpowers?
I ran out of time.
There's some unsung heroes there.
I was watching gameplay footage of it, and it gets crazy. Like the more you get into it, it gets crazy. But you gotta remember where you go because you gotta go to places and go back, and then there's like doorways you got to go through, and so it's gonna get interesting. The next one was Disney's Aladdin. That was I gave it like 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm done.
It's too hard for him.
It was too hard, so I handed the controller over to Dave, and Dave is he got like through 3/4 of the game.
Right.
That's crazy.
You don't like running on the carpet?
We didn't get to that part yet, almost.
Oh.
The trees, that's what was screwing me up. Like I was even watching him play recently. I was watching the video, and when you like,
games can be tough.
Those trees, you got to land just right on them, or you fall through it. That's one of the things. Like back in the day, the Sega, Nintendo, if you didn't touch that right pixel, you were gonna go
Prince
through.
of Persia.
Oh, there's some games that were worse than that.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
I'm trying to think, what because I know the Angry Video Game
Simpsons
stuff
versus
like that.
the World. Bart versus the World. Holy crap!
It was like some
Ice
really
World?
bad game. It might have been one of the Terminator games on Nintendo or something. Like if you don't land on, you fall through. And it's like, wait a minute, you get that little pixel, even though it looks like you're landing on the block.
Yeah,
the computer didn't register it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, oh, come on.
So that was the
clearly you had your leg there.
Yeah, and if you didn't spend the hours doing it and practicing it and missing it to figure out where it was, find that sweet spot, then you were screwed. That's like a lot of these, like with trying to get these guys into the old stuff. It's like they're learning it just as well as we were. It's a pain.
Yeah, that's why a lot of. I'm not saying there's not hard games nowadays. Dark Souls.
It's a different type of hard.
Or Dark Souls type games, which From Software makes all of that. The point of that is like you suck, and you get killed, and then you go back and try to figure out what you need to do to fight these bosses, and they're not even. Sometimes it's not even the main boss. It's like, oh, this is the first guy I come across. It's not even a boss.
Yeah, that's where you
get whooped.
You're fighting yourself.
So, but it's like stuff nowadays. It's like, oh, we gotta make it so easy to do. I get the whole idea, like fighting games. You're trying to get people coming to the market that don't play fighting games, but I don't know how to do the move, so I don't want to teach them how to do it. So we just hit a button to do a move. That's what they basically did with Street Fighter. They can do controls where you just let's make it easy.
Yeah,
because high turnover, you lose interest. It's like, you can't do it, and then you just put down something else.
Yeah, so the kids are slowly learning, the difficulties of the old generations of what we had to grow up with. The next one that came out, we did. Remember the AT review that we did? The Sega Genesis AT console review? I made a shorter version. And that one exploded too. That one got over 100 views.
Cool.
So that one did awesome. Did amazing.
The thing's not bad. Just the sound is way off on that.
I'm gonna have to do some more videos on that because people are still watching that, and like the other one is starting to die off. The Kin Hank, that one's starting to.
Well, it just depends on
It depends on the game, obviously, but like the views for that one is starting to get filtered out.
Sunset Riders.
It's getting saturated. The market's getting saturated with my Kin Hank videos. The next one that came out was the walkthrough, the 3-part series that me and Matthew did. So that was his first.
With Spider-Man?
Yeah. That was his first gaming experience for the PlayStation 1. And that was his first PlayStation 1 game that he beat.
Really?
So that was awesome, yeah. So that was like the couch co-op style game. I sat with him and kind of walked him through and tried to help him figure things out. Even though I couldn't remember nothing. The only thing I remembered out of the whole entire game was the end. It was the end.
Oh, okay.
You're
like, I didn't even remember this was a Spider-Man game.
Yeah. I didn't remember anything in it. Like, and then the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 Easter egg, I didn't know that.
Wait, Activision.
When you're climbing up the building, when you're getting shot by the helicopter, you get to the top of the building and it's a big, huge Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 advertisement billboard.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool. I'm like, oh, look at there's the
bonus.
Easter egg. Yeah.
Activision.
It's cool. Yep.
After that, Jet Moto 2, introduced Lily into that. Whooped her butt, not by much though, because like the last one we played, she was only like 5 seconds behind me or 10 seconds behind me, so she was starting to get the hang of it. Oh yeah, also we did Road Rage. Did I upload that? Maybe I didn't. Road Rash. Did you see that on there?
No.
Oh, so I didn't I gotta upload that then. Yeah, because me and Matthew, it's on Matthew's channel.
Oh, okay.
He did his own video like this, sitting there.
It might be on there.
Playing, recording the game on Matthew's channel.
Yeah.
Matthew's channel's exploding too because he's going live on the PS5, and then I shared it to Facebook, so he's got some new subscribers that way. Shout out Matthew's Epic Gaming, Matthew. And then also I figured out the correct tags to put in his video, so that helped obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is he doesn't have the YouTube buddy, so they only give you 3 tags, and you have to guess on the rest. So I just looked up on my channel how to find that. I guess I probably shouldn't have said that to edit that out.
Oh boy.
YouTube buddy like, really? That's how you did it? I have to figure out how to stop that, Anyways.
I don't know, that Mario game, that was something. But anyway.
So yeah, Jet Moto 2, that was awesome. Dusted that off and played it on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like a week where we just played PlayStation games. Mm-hmm. I also got some more games. I was with you. We got Bugs Life for me and Lily to play because we do the daddy-daughter gaming night or gaming day thing. So
it's good stuff.
So yeah, I got that one. I still got to get Jurassic Park. Because I got to show you guys. That thing is freaking awesome. That might be our new intro. If I can get a 7-second clip of that for our intro for the videos. Because this
the raptor coming out?
Lady! What is she barking at?
The
neighbor guy. Yeah, she don't like that guy for some reason. Every time he shows up, she gets on her guard. But anyways, yeah, the Jurassic Park, it starts off, the DreamWorks. Hey, I got one! And he pulls him off the moon and eats him.
Yeah. My gosh.
Yeah.
That was a flashback. Made me think also of the movies used to have the Bugs Bunny come out. Have the little short before the movie.
Yeah.
They don't do stuff like that anymore.
What they call that?
It's fun. Huh?
Tiny Toon Mini or Looney Tune Minis, or they call it. There's a certain name.
Yeah, it was nice. So then watching the movie, would have that.
Anyways, after that, me and Tiffany, we were playing. We got they're on sale, PlayStation Plus, and we got Contra, Operation Gulagu. Is that what it is? Gulagu? It's the new one.
Yeah.
It came out like last year, I think. Yeah. It's arcade. Well, we picked arcade mode to play. So me and Tiffany, we played that. That thing's got a crap load. Like that video exploded, and we're gonna be playing that.
Look forward to that. Yes.
And we're gonna be playing that right after this.
Die.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
If you watch the video,
Contra, that's usually how it goes.
Every 5 minutes you're dying. It's just
keep on trucking.
So we got that one.
Less than 5 minutes.
It was literally every minute.
Okay, that's the challenge. Foreshadowing. 5-minute challenge.
So we got that one because it was unclear. It was on sale, and then we also got the other one with the 10-game package,
which is bringing clear. All right,
so we got both of those to try out. So we're gonna be getting on the PS5, hooking that bad boy up here, and we're gonna be gaming. And then I got 4K HDMI's because otherwise it screws up. If you plug in the 1080 controller, it screws up your PS5. I mean, not like it doesn't break it; it just changes the settings. And I don't know how to fix all that. Anyways, Mario Bros. Me and you, we were playing Mario Bros. Mm-hmm. That one is actually surprisingly popular too.
I'd like to do it again. That was rough.
Retro.
And it was a little frustrating, but you just got to get it down.
I was laughing because I watched it again and some of the stuff he was saying. It's weird. You gotta run forward to jump forward. I'm like, really? I'm thinking, really? That's how you play the game?
You gotta time it.
I didn't realize they did that in every other platform where you actually gotta move forward to jump go like this. You don't just, sorry, I'm being sorry.
Everybody's a critic. That's fine. I got big shoulders. This is my first time.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm being sarcastic.
It's fine.
It's good when we can do it. We're all at the table.
Even in Super Mario Bros., you had to move forward to go like this.
That's okay, because I can take some shots out on YouTube. So.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh.
Shots fired.
Uh-oh.
Dave beat Violent Storm. Yeah, Dave beat. Me and Dave beat Violent Storm.
Cool.
Dave's shoulders was probably holding me the whole time. But he showed me Violent Storm. That was one of the first ones.
It's like a little bit later we did that.
Okay.
It was another one of those Konami arcade games. They did beat 'em ups just as good as Capcom did back in the day. It never came to home systems, which I wish they would bring that stuff out. But
and then another one that I uploaded surprisingly did good on was the Journey to the Savage Planet, even though they came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
it's like
I never got a chance to play that much of it. It's one of those games that looked interesting to me.
It's not bad. 52 views a day ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
That's why I put like crazy on there.
There's a lot of games that I've started and haven't been able to finish yet, but those are like starts that. Those are starts I'm gonna end up playing when I have some free time at some point. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed it. It kind of reminded me of. It was. I guess maybe not really that one. What's that one?
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, No Man's Sky is a little bit more serious.
Yeah, exactly. This is like a kiddie version of No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it's a
dumbed down version.
It's a little bit more.
I mean, I didn't even get into it, but I think it's got potential.
It's
maybe.
not Fallout in space.
So check that out.
That's the outer world. Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that back into perspective. They kind of mesh together after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, some things
they're
themes
tweak
from
here.
other ones.
Yeah.
So the first episode of our new style podcast, Game Chat, dropped last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you guys see that?
That I haven't.
Yeah, that came out last night.
You mentioned that, yes.
So
you did.
So it's a new style format for Game Chat and Chill. So it's like a spin-off of Game Chat and Chill. It's where we just sit down and we go over any games that we've played and played or just beaten or not beaten, whatever, just games we played, and it's just strictly on that. We just do discussions and what we liked, and we pick it apart and just have a good time talking about it. And so far, each one I've done 3. There's 3 of them. There's one with Dave, there's one with Shane, and there's one with Matthew. So look for that in the future. I'll probably be just kind of randomly throwing them out there.
It's fun. I like that part of it. It's neat to have different.
Because I like to keep the main podcast on track for timing wise.
Yes. Yep.
So I may end up just saving them for when we can't do a Game Chat and Chill podcast, or maybe if I have so many in the backlog, I'll throw them out on a Wednesday or something. But we'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's only been a day. We'll see. Maybe it'll take off. Maybe it won't. It'll probably depend mostly on what the game title is too. What we're talking
Special
about.
Presentation. Dun, 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 dun.
It's where we discuss strictly on the games where we played or beaten or not beaten, pick them apart, do a deep dive, and get into the meat and potatoes of them. We're still going to be doing the Game Chat and Chill, but as a bonus, we'll be adding them out as we make them. So we've got 3 already. Sunset Riders, Spider-Man 2000 with Matthew, and then the TMNT Shredder's Revenge with Shane. So what did you think of that? Was that a good time?
Yeah,
Did you
absolutely.
enjoy it?
Yeah.
How about you? Did you enjoy it? Or did you hate it?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's interesting.
I'm trying to listen, and I'm just messaging somebody back while they're messaging.
That's why I did it, because it's awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun to talk about, but then back to just the basic foundation is just gaming. So it's when playing it, it's nice when we can talk about that, have fun, but then that's it.
So on a side note,
we're
moving into the news of things. Microsoft celebrates 50 years with free digital content. So if you're an Xbone fan, then you get something free, even though it ain't really nothing to brag about. I looked into it, and all it is a dynamic background, a solitaire theme, gamer picks, and the badge. So it's nothing to celebrate. I mean, yay!
Did we ever mention God of War, the anniversary with that too, the cosmetic?
Yeah, we talked about that last time, and then you download. I don't think I downloaded it yet. Is it automatic download?
It's update.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
if you
check.
got it,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check on the store to see if it downloaded it or not.
It goes in the chest or whatever. Yep.
So if you're an Xbox fan, make sure you go check that stuff out. They're giving away free things free decorational things. So if you like that for your Xbox, then go check it out.
Keep an eye on that.
Let's see. Switch 2 is coming out. That's been announced finally a couple days ago. I haven't seen it. Dave's been filling me in on the news with that. June 5th. Supposedly has 10 times the graphics performance than the original Switch. And we'll see. Originally priced $450, but they're putting a hold on that for some reason. They're thinking about changing the price back to like $500 or something.
Console Wars.
Possibly.
A lot of backlash for prices on games from people.
Yeah.
What they leaked to what the games would cost
Pre-holiday
for
season.
digital and physical. So it's like, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It comes with I don't understand this part. This was kind of vague. It says 256 gigabyte internal hard drive, and then it says a / micro SD. So I don't know if that's like the maximum size micro SD you can put in it, or
dedicated.
Or if that means it's dedicated 256.
The system itself is more than the other one. You can always expand.
Yeah, buy with the micro SD. Okay, that's what. Yeah, because they don't. It doesn't specify. It just says that. The handheld version, like when you're holding it in your hand, is gonna be 1080p gameplay.
Yeah.
And then when it's docked, it'll be 4K.
Yeah, HDR and all that stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see. I kind of interested. I want one.
Manufacturing wise, hey,
But I mean, if I do get one, it may be a while. Because I can't just go run out there and buy something like that.
Well, people are people are gonna try to buy them up like crazy, try to sell them and scalp them.
Yeah, so I usually end up waiting
which always drives me nuts.
Except for the PlayStation 5, I was able to get that at launch, and then the PS4 too. But that's because my dad paid for like half of it for my birthday or something.
My son's all about it. He's been talking about it because we just got him a Portal. Now he wants to Switch.
Yeah, the PS5, that one.
But now, of course, there's the PS5 Pro.
I paid for most. Yeah. Oh no, I remember the PS5. My dad paid for, but then I paid him back, like when I got taxes, kind of thing. So because we didn't know if they were going to be in the stores because they were just trickling out. Yeah.
Because PlayStation was doing a thing where you could put in a bid for it.
No, it was back in the day when you could hardly find them. So we actually came across one. And then we snagged it because we knew dang well that we weren't going to be able to. We weren't going to come across them every day.
And all of a sudden there was too many of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Where'd they all come from? Okay.
Let's see. So we had the new Mario Kart game is supposed to be free roam.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then I'm definitely going to get that because I usually don't buy a console unless there's going to be a game that I'm going to play on it, kind of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't like Nintendo games usually because they're too.
Yeah, but I've been.
Wait, what?
They're not manly.
Yeah, but I've been buying them lately. I just got 2 new Nintendo Switch games.
I'm just messing with him
because
I remember him saying that all the time.
Exactly.
They're too kiddish for me.
I'm exactly. I'm like, why are you gonna play the Switch? It's all baby games on there.
Oh,
but I started playing these games that Dave showed me. So now I'm finding the ones that
all these old retro games you would have called baby games back in the day. Wow, this is really hard.
Yeah,
man.
So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've jumped on.
Cool. Well, that's a cartoon character. How hard is that?
I jumped on
some of those are the hardest. Really.
I jumped on the Nintendo bandwagon, and I've actually, I've been putting my Switch to good use lately. So, I've had my Switch for like 4 years, and I probably only have 20 hours on it.
So that's the biggest thing about Nintendo with their exclusives. There's always there's gonna be something on there that you're not gonna be able to play on something else.
But now that, then also, I got a sponsor for the Switch, and now that I got that, I got all the free games to play online, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So now that I got that, then that's pretty cool. The sponsor wants to be anonymous. I can't say.
Super Nintendo, N64, Genesis games.
You know who you are. Thanks for the sponsorship.
Multiplayer can get tricky.
So anyways, I've been getting into Nintendo just as well as the other thing. So I may end up getting one down the road. Cool. I have to save my pennies for a while, or get rid of a bunch more crap. Who knows? Consoles cheaper, but games are going to be more expensive. We've already touched on that. That they might be flip flopping now.
80 originally that's why they kind of, I think they avoided it during the showcase or not direct. Sorry, the direct. 80 for digital and 90 for physical copy.
Yeah, that's
some of their
Nintendo
exclusives.
So
it's just like I'm like, we're gonna get the
plastic.
Yeah, we're gonna get the problem with Grand Theft Auto thinking that Rockstar and 2K thinking that they can charge $100 for that. Oh, people will spend money on it because they've been waiting so long to play it. Okay, not everybody's gonna buy it because you know how many games are out there.
Yeah,
there's literally thousands of games, even from the last couple of generations, that are worth playing.
Yep, I haven't even been buying like modern games because there's so many retro ones to play.
And for anybody saying, "Well, it's not Grand Theft Auto," that may be true. But it doesn't mean it's going to be the best one. It might be able to do this and look like this. But with some of the things I've heard about that game, we haven't seen enough on it. They're removing a lot of the humor from that's always been in them because they don't want to offend people and all this other stuff. So it might not be, oh, look how great it is. If you love it, you love it. If you don't, it's not like one of those games. There's not like one of those games out there. As much as I want to play this game or that game, where I got to go buy it on day one. There's too many. There's too many out there to play.
So they're reinventing it. Is it?
No, I ain't necessarily reinventing it, but it's what's the way I should put this? What the critical drinker would say: modern audiences.
Yeah.
Made for modern audiences.
Sorry, but no. I mean, okay.
That's still in that frame where they developed the game all those years when they were pushing certain things.
Why don't they make it for everybody? You cut the crap.
Well, in their eyes, it's making it for everybody.
Right.
But the problem is people that actually whine and cry about that on social media, the 1% about certain things, They don't play the stuff.
Yeah,
they don't go watch the movies. They don't watch the TV shows. They just want
if it's not
this.
there, they're going to be the first to complain.
Oh, why is this? Like the when Marvel released the trailer for who's going to be in the cast of Avengers Doomsday. There's not enough women in this movie.
Oh my word!
There's too many guys.
Yeah.
And that's like a little tiny percentage. Like I could care less.
Or main character, side character. But with games, I mean, it's nice when you can have the editing option before you play in the gameplay. If you want, less blood or language.
Oh yeah, that's
music.
Cool.
I mean, you have the option, but
you
have the base game that you have.
Yeah, because some of the games are just.
It's in
swearing is swearing. It's in there, but when it's every other word that's stupid, I can't stand it. Like I'll play with the sound turned down. It's just too much. Too much is too much.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo will see what they do if they look like they might raise the price on the system to compensate on the games. Because some people said
don't buy it.
They'd rather pay. They'd rather play after seeing what the price of the games are going to be. They said they'd rather pay more for the system. Than that for the games. Because if you think about it, if you buy 4 games at $90, like if you bought it at launch, you're paying almost for the system.
Mm-hmm.
With how much it costs after tax.
The only time I've paid more than the game price for anything was back in the day when I pre-ordered from GameStop and you got cool stuff with it. Right. That was the only time, like, because I was getting the strategy guide book, then I would get the toy, like I'd get the pro version, so I'd get all the collectibles with it.
Yeah, I missed it. I remember on PlayStation when you get stuff, if you got a pre-order, you get an avatar, you get a background theme, all these extra stuff, the digital book and all that. I mean, you still get some of that with the digital, but it ain't the same. So it's just like, okay, you're getting stuff, money's worth out of it, and then you get it, and hey, here's some bonus stuff, let alone early unlock or whatever, 3 days.
So so that's the only time I ever spent that kind of. And if there wasn't anything cool that came with the game, then I just wouldn't spend that much money. I'd just get.
But then if you want the standard, then that's what you get. Then the Game of the Year edition comes out.
Yeah.
So, because back then, for a while there, I was buying 4 copies. Mm-hmm. And that's because I was playing on PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Yeah. Me and Tiffany both were. That was expensive. But in order to do that, we'd pre-order a year ahead of time, and just every month we'd go in and throw $20-$40 down, whatever we could, until we had everything paid off.
It's interesting territory, though, because if a game comes out and say, like, with us or anybody, or reviews come out and stuff, and like, yay, nay, I mean, I'm like a movie. I won't have a conclusion until I watch it, see it myself, make my own opinion of it. But if you have stuff with the price, it's like that's going to determine what you're spending your money on. I mean, you want to use your money wisely, right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't pay that.
With everything in general being costing more.
Mm-hmm. I just won't buy games. I'll wait.
It's the economy. Okay, to a point. Okay.
Yeah, people will spend money on what they want to spend money. Like that's the whole adage of Grand Theft Auto 6. Their response to that possibly costing $100 is because people will pay for it because they've been waiting for so long.
If people are willing to pay for it,
because it's true. There'll be they'll sell millions of copies with people paying $100 for a game.
Initial rush.
Because they know people will pay for it. That's the problem.
I'm not that
if we're going back to 90s prices, which I was a teenager and how much games cost.
Yeah.
Oh, and you had Maximilian, love that guy. His channel talking about it because the same age frame as myself.
Shout out Maximilian.
So he showing old ads from Toys R Us and different ads for what the systems cost. Like Super Nintendo was $129, but Killer Instinct was like $85.
Right.
Somewhere around there. So you're paying a ton of money. Even the Nintendo 64 version of it was like, okay, these are ridiculous. I remember when the N64 came out, there were certain games that cost $80.
Right. Well, I missed it too because it feels direct to home. Okay, you spent the money and you got it. But I remember when you used to rent and have it for the weekend for a game, just take the game back. You like it or you don't.
I remember the game.
Buy it, you can.
Sony's the one that came in with making games cheap with DVDs for the PlayStation.
Exactly.
And everything was $50 at that point for a long time. They came in and dictated the market because they're like, wait a minute. Because I remember even at the time, Sony making a system, but I got it on launch. But the games were cheaper. The games were still great.
And that was because of the split between Sony and
Nintendo. And then everybody has fond memories. Like he even brought up fond memories of N64 being so great. And it was successful here in the United States. Yeah. Everywhere else in the world did not do good.
Yeah.
That's why they changed things with GameCube.
Yeah.
Nintendo did. It's just prices on things. It's like, but that could be a dictating factor, especially with games.
Geographic.
So Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Anybody pre-order?
I don't know anything about it.
PlayStation, it's already out on Xbox. Isn't it?
Yeah, I think yes, I was gonna get into that. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle came out, or it's coming out April 17th for PS5, and it was already released originally on Xbox December 9th last year. But, I mean, I don't know anything about it, but from what I've seen, everybody's saying it's good.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it. I was a little disappointed, but Harrison Ford even gave the voice actor credit for what he did.
Yeah.
So, I always like that Tomb Raider stuff, but yeah, it's fun for sure.
Okay. This is one I found. I added in later on. This is Atari Games Watch. They've already came out with one, which had a game on it, but it cost
like smartwatch, like playing.
Yeah, exactly. You play Atari games on the watch.
Well, no more calculator.
So the original one that came out was like $500 or $800, something like that. But I don't even remember what was on it. It was just the original. They came out with one before, but it was really expensive.
Cuber.
Now they came out with one that is a little bit more affordable. So it's an $80 watch, and it comes with 4 games: Pong, Super Breakout, Missile Command, and Centipede. And the watch thing, the little thing on the side, you can use that to make the thing go back and forth, or control the dot on there, and then it also has a circle with like a bullseye in the center, and you take your finger and you can steer like it's a paddle.
It's cool. It's like
so you can play the game on your watch.
Usually you have solitaire on your phone, so it's only a matter of time on the watch.
Yeah, cool. It's touchscreen. It's touchscreen, and the dial uses a paddle. It's got the 2600 game versions on it.
That's cool.
$80, but it comes with 4 games. But the only thing is you can't connect it to anything. No Wi-Fi. Like, it can keep track of your steps.
Well, wait a second. So you can pay $80 for a watch and have like these many games, and then you got to play double that for just one single game on a console. I mean, let's put. And
there's no way to add games to it. There's no way to connect to the internet. It tracks your steps, but there's no way to upload it to a computer to keep track of anything. So it's I'm guessing for nostalgia, people may want it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Downloadable content.
It was something game related, so I figured I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean that's neat. I mean that's cool.
Assassin's Creed game is doing well. After 1 week, it has has reached 3 million players. Second highest day one sales. Fallout being the first, not doing well in Japan though for some reason. Only 17,701 sold.
Assassin's Creed, the new one. I can't imagine why that's not doing well in Japan.
Isn't it like
the main guy? They made him non-Japanese.
They made him non-Japanese.
He's not Japanese. Watch the trailer.
Yeah.
You think it'd be more like
he's not Japanese.
Samurai, but
samurai back in the day, they made it. They based it on
There's
race.
A code.
So it's like the last samurai movie.
I mean, well, when you think about it, I mean that's there's a lot of background.
Using the history of who the character.
I'm surprised they didn't make it a chick then.
So it just goes to show, it don't matter on the planet where you do when that stuff crosses like that. If it ain't authentic,
it did not do well at all.
People can like that.
Yep, it's over in Japan.
Unless there's a reason for it, but it's adopted or something. There's backstories like
yeah, there's a reason for it. There's certain 3 letters that they're trying to get rid of by law. That we got to put certain things in certain things because we got to have representation when there's not enough representation out there in the first place. Which people, are you talking about, white boy? Well, it don't really matter to me. If you base it just on that, then it's pointless.
Yeah. There used to be representation. It was just called a game. I mean, you played it. It was there.
The problem is you're taking a character that it's based on a guy historically. You're a very slim thing, but you're changing like their stuff that they take seriously in their culture.
It's changing
and he's not Japanese.
Yeah, because they just did Japanese face without doing Japanese. It's stupid.
Well, that's a slap in the face.
That's why it's not like even when they released the first trailer, Japan was like.
I mean, another character doesn't have to be the main character. The co-characters still have representation in there, some way, shape, or form. There's a lot of non-playable characters, or whatever.
Yeah, but here's the issue. Even with that, it'd be like me going back into like the 1400s in France and having guys from India acting like they're from France.
Well, no.
In some movies, they did that with some movies. Like, wait a minute, that doesn't really match up to the time frame and where we're at. That's like me going. Yeah. That's like me historically going to Africa.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago, and being, like before even white guys even showed up to Africa and being in Africa.
Thai wasn't even invented yet.
So that ain't gonna work.
That's a good one.
Or Viking times. Oh yeah, well I'll have this guy here. And instead of Vikings, you have a guy from Japan. That's one of the Vikings. That ain't gonna work because that's not real. That's not reality.
It
What
wouldn't work in a
historically
game
works.
either, because more than likely they'd be slaughtered.
The Japanese Viking guy.
You're being
Vikings
an
never made it
invader,
there. Japan, they never heard of each other.
A foreigner.
So that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's that kind of ridiculousness. That's like, wait a minute, you're being whatever assist at the end. No, I'm just being reality of what actually happened.
It's all prelude.
It's fictional.
It's all prelude to a TV show that's gonna come out soon, or a game that'll be called Time Travelers, and it'll all have part with all these games that people were
time travel. I'll be a time traveler in
just
science fiction and show up in different places I'm not supposed to be.
Yeah, I know.
Just so I can take a picture of a selfie. Wait a minute, how'd you get a picture? That's gotta be AI. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it can show Arnold on the AI's scary now. Because
it's still not 100% though. You can still
tell it's not real.
Defects,
You can still tell it's not real.
But
there's enough of a glaze to it that's like you can tell it's not reality.
Then also certain things like bent fingers or just things that shouldn't be bent or bent in it still. Kind of weird, just weird random.
I mean, there's channels that like they show like movies or movie trailers, but AI ruined it. And I always think that's funny because they'll add stuff and they do it with wrestling stuff and like they showed old clips of WCW Nitro, but AI ruined it and they're showing clips and all of a sudden like stuff blows up in the background and like flames engulf a guy or the place. It's like, wait a minute, that's not what happened.
With Arnold's face.
And
the voiceover.
I just got a new phone, so we got Chat GPT on there.
I was wondering why he's flipping a smartphone. He's got one of those ones.
Yeah, well, I went back to Android because I can't stand iPhone. It's just a glorified name. Everybody's paying for the name.
So. Somebody very close to me just got an iPhone, which I was trying to say. We did something else.
Don't do
she likes it, but I'm glad she likes it.
Yeah, I've had this discussion with my wife and her sister, and then the guy where we got our phones from, he even said it's better than iPhone. You're paying for the name.
Yeah. And
then like it's even gone as far as like with the kids in school. They're bullying kids that don't have iPhones as poor white trash or whatever because they can't afford the iPhone.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
worse than when we were in school.
Samsungs cost as much as iPhones, and sometimes they cost more.
These guys have surpassed iPhone for the past 4 or 5 generations now. So
like Google Pixels.
How long have you had that now?
Android is.
What do you think?
Oh, almost a week. I love it.
Instantaneous, right?
The second I got it back in my hands, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much better.
You're fine. Like, and people don't realize anything Android, because Samsung, all these other companies, it's Google.
Yeah.
That's their stuff. Android is their stuff. So, why is their phone so, it's... Apple, I'm not saying Apple sucks, but at a certain point, you're paying for a brand
Apple's got good stuff.
You're paying for a brand name.
You're paying for the name of the phone. I mean, even this camera, the Pixel is 3 greater than Tiffany's got the new iPhone. And the pixels on this camera is 3 pixels better than the other than the iPhone one. It's 50.
Yep.
Anyways, enough of that.
Yep. Sorry, folks.
Rumor has it.
Assassin's
Creed Black Flag remake is rumored to come out. Don't know when. This is rumor.
Ding ding ding.
I don't think I played it. I might have it for PS3, but I don't know.
It's on foot.
There's a lot of them.
Is that because I bought when GameStop was selling all their PS3 games for dirt cheap, I went and bought like 50 of them, just because they're only $1 or $2.
Yeah.
So I stocked up on all the games when they were cheap. Anyways, rumor has it Titanfall 3 suggests for a 2026 release. Have you guys played Titanfall?
Yeah, Titanfall 2 is awesome.
I love them games.
Titanfall
is just I haven't played it to completion, but
oh my
Titanfall
gosh.
2, yeah, that was the problem with that game. And it's not the game itself. Is when EA decided to launch it. They launched it the same week as Battlefield 1.
Ah, gotcha.
And so the online, like, why is it online? It's like part of me thinks they did it on purpose, to be honest with you. But like Titanfall 2, the gameplay is awesome. The story in that game's awesome because the first game was only online it was only on Xbox, I believe.
I think I almost got that from you.
Yeah.
So Titanfall 2 you can get really cheap. It's good. It's Respawn.
It's kind of cool.
Made that. Guys that did guys that made that company. I think they did Call of Duty originally. The ones that started that Respawn.
So I saw this in a commercial. It's called Steel Hunters. Have you guys seen that at all?
Steel Hunters.
Have you heard of that game?
Yeah,
I can't find any information on it though. Supposedly there's a free beta of it out right now to play, I don't know what system it's for, but anyways, it's like a robot mech. It's like Titanfall PvP shooter game.
Okay.
And it looks pretty cool.
Titanfall
I just saw it. Yeah, I saw it on a commercial, and then so I started Googling it and found out that it's already out, but there's a beta version of it somewhere. I don't. So I'm guessing it might be the computer. I don't know.
Check that out.
Minecraft movie comes out this weekend. We were already talking about that. We're going to go see that later on today.
You betcha.
Okay. We're going to talk about the new Superman trailer release. I haven't seen it. Dave turned me onto this.
Okay.
Dave, you've seen it, right?
Yep.
So what do you think about the new trailer
It's
for
stupid.
Superman?
James Gunn, I don't have a problem with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies because that's what they are, the humor and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, that does not work for Superman.
Yeah.
It looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy humor on Superman. The character's not the same.
Yeah.
And the dog thing, people whining about that. It's dumb. Like the full scene, Superman looks like he's dying.
Yeah.
He calls Crypto in, which in the original trailer they take me home. He took him home.
Yeah.
But in this full scene view, he runs up to Superman, starts jumping on him. And Superman's laying there. That's the dumbest thing. It's like so stupid. It's like Superman, like at this point, I'm not saying the movie's gonna bomb.
Yeah.
But it's not Superman. You're making it like there's certain humors. Like there's humor in the original Superman movie, but they never made Superman look like an idiot.
Yeah, see, I think Superman's a little more serious.
Yes, Clark. The way Christopher Reeves did, he was the first version to make, because Superman was always a mild.
Yeah.
When he's Clark Kent, he's mild mannered. So he's just a basic.
Yep.
Don't look at this guy and like, oh, there's something special about this guy. No, he was a mild mannered guy. Christopher Reeves made him a little bit more goofy, just to kind of throw like things off. But Superman was never like that. Like Superman himself, when he was Superman, wasn't a goof. He wasn't. It might. Between him and like the banter between him and Lex in that movie's great.
Yeah.
His mask was off.
But he wasn't a goof. Mm-hmm. You made it in this movie. It looks like more and more in the trailers that you're making Superman a goof. That's not the character. Why don't you just make Batman a goof? Like Bruce Wayne. Like somebody brought up a perfect. I think it was Tyrone Magnus. I love Tyrone. He brought up about the old Batman Beyond. Like Batman Beyond. The Bruce Wayne. He's older and he had a dog. Which Ace, the Doberman, or whatever the thing he had, the dog he had, be like, he's hurt laying there. He brought up the point of this. But yeah, it's exactly true. Bruce is laying there hurt, but Ace, help me. And then Ace is jumping all over him, beating him up.
No, like bringing him a care package.
Like, I'm dying.
He'd know.
The dog, like dogs, like, if you fake, like, obviously, if you're sitting on the couch and they don't know you're hurt, and they come in, you come home and you gotta, like, you're hurt or you have an ankle or something, like Tyrone brought that up, like, because people are like, dogs don't always know you're hurt. But if you're laying on the ground, even fake, like you're fake hurt, the dog ain't gonna come up and jump on you. Yeah. They're gonna be like, ooh, ooh. Your dog's gonna know you're hurt.
Yeah, they're gonna.
It's so idiotic.
And,
yeah.
The dog, like the crypto thing, it's hilarious. Ben Shapiro's response to it was even hilarious. I saw his response to it. It's hilarious. Well, it's dumb.
It's like, come on, let's play. Oh, wait a second.
The movie so far, I have no high hopes for the movie at all.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's gonna bomb, but like, you're making Superman a goof. Even the robot thing was a little weird too. Like, oh, you don't have to thank us. We don't have emotional whatever response. I can't remember to that or whatever. Just automatons or whatever. And then the girl version, the new robot, it's like, oh, he looked at me. So you just contradicted the whole thing about saying no emotional response. But she was all happy that Superman
what's up with that?
Yeah.
Advanced AI
robot
for foreign galaxy.
Wait, what does that mean? I haven't seen the trailer, so.
Yeah, she giggles at it because the robot that was talking to him because he was thanking him for carrying, because he brought him to the Fortress of Solitude and they're carrying him, and he's telling him thank you. You don't have to thank us because we're not going to be able to, we don't have that emotional, blah blah blah, whatever. And then here's the new one. She's new, 12. Say hello. He looked at her and she's like, oh, he looked at me. Wait a minute, you just said she giggled when Superman. Like, wait a minute, you just said there was no emotional response.
And then,
you make it like a goofy humor stuff. See, that's the one thing, like with Marvel at a certain point.
No, you're passionate.
The MCU, they got too focused on the goofy humor. Everything had to be, even with serious stuff. Oh, we got to crack a joke. No, you don't have to crack a joke. Oh, Asgard blew up. What's his name? What's Gore? The one alien guy that the director played in that. the big. I can't remember his name. For some reason, right off my
Yeah.
brain's not going there.
Yeah.
But he's like, he makes a joke about it. Asgard blows up at the end of the movie in Ragnarok, and then all of a sudden he cracks a joke. Yeah. It's like you don't have to have everything be ha 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 ha. That's
right. I mean, to a point, that's just what's in there, but not.
Your dog just died. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Oh, your close family member just died. Ha 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 ha. Superman just snapped his finger out of existence. Oh, look the look on his face when he died. Be like that kind of stupid stuff. Sorry. Yeah, Superman is not even one of my top 10 favorite or top 15 favorite characters, but I respect the character enough.
Yeah, so it's all news to me. Like, the only reason why I even know that that's out is because for one you brought it up, and then also this other website I was looking at, it showed like a picture kind of thing, but because I was looking up new movie trailers and stuff like that coming out. So the next one is the new Avatar movie.
Okay.
I don't know when that's
coming.
Yeah,
it's December. December they're shooting for again.
Okay, there's for a December release?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's called Fire and Ash, and it says there's new adversaries, the Ash people. Focuses on the footage. It shows an expanded look at the new corners and cultures in the world of Pandora. So there's like 2 or 3 other new, what do you call them? Groups of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 new groups of I don't know how to say it, Navi, are introduced in this third Avatar film. The Talalim clan, aka the Wind Traders. So like each one has like different elements to it, and then the Mangquan clan, aka the Ash people. The former are nomads who sail the skies, like sailors from the golden age of sail, while the latter are baddies who have rejected their deity and the ways of the Navi after a volcano left their homeland in a desolate wreck covered in ash. So those are the 2 new...
Avatar?
Yeah, the 2 new groups of people that are going to be in that.
Okay.
The new Avatar movie is coming out.
Yeah.
And then the new Fantastic Four movie that releases in July. I don't know anything about it other than when I seen the picture, because I was looking at the website. It showed a still picture, and what the heck was I thinking? It looked like something from the 60s.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, the time frame.
So I don't know if I'm gonna.
Well, there's certain things about it that I'm not sure about, because I'm not saying the actor's playing the thing is going to be a bad thing, but his voice is just his normal voice, and it makes no sense to me. As anybody that was like the Thing, out of all the Fantastic Four characters, is my favorite character out of them. I started when I was a kid because they had him on like the comic book guy that would go to the county fair every year to show his stuff off, and he had like cheap comics. I bought a lot of Thing comics because he had his own comic besides just the Fantastic Four comic.
Found it.
But the Thing, you'd think his voice would be different, not just his normal. He doesn't even have a gruff voice at all.
Yeah.
Well, it's clobbering time. So So just there's other aspects of it, and they haven't showed off the Silver Surfer yet, which rumors have been a long time that a woman is playing the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that's they said, and what I read is it's because they're doing a different comic line.
People don't want to see that.
Yeah.
People, Silver Surfer, even normies, people that aren't fans are gonna be like, "Isn't Silver Surfer?"
Yeah.
Well, if they were to make one, it's like, where did she come from?
It's a different time period. They're using different time period.
Yeah, they can use a lot of excuses for it.
Yeah.
It's just to check certain boxes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We already know the intentions.
It has nothing to do with like character. Oh, there's a version. Yeah, one random version in the comics a long time ago. You always talk about you want it to be comic book accurate, not sucky stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everything that's comic book accurate is good, but and they change some stuff, like the old Batman animated series. Mr. Freeze never had a decent background. He's just an unknown thief. They changed that for the better, and that's who his character is now. He's a scientist that tried to save his wife and got turned into Mr. Freeze.
Yep.
Awesome what they did with that character. They changed even Two-Face. They made him like he has schizophrenia and stuff like that. The reason why he is the way he is. There's things you can change. But when there's other stuff, you don't need stuff to change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. That's how I look at it.
If they're going to wonder why 3 Marvel movies bombed this year, it's not because people are tired of seeing comic book movies. They're tired of seeing garbage.
Yeah.
That's not entertaining.
Push down your throat.
It's a lot of wasted money. Was it mentioned already with Spider-Man?
No, because I couldn't remember the name of the title for that. I mean,
the Spider-Verse movie?
Yeah, and there isn't any real information on...
You talking about Spider-Man, the live action, or the Spider-Verse movie?
The new one, yeah.
Brand New Day.
Yeah, Brand New Day.
That's Spider-Man 4?
Yeah, that's the only thing that's out there is just the title, Brand New Day. Nobody knows anything else.
The only thing I know of who wanted to go more grounded. I think Marvel wanted to go more grounded, like street level with Spider-Man, but I think Sony wanted to go more big. I can't remember it could be the other way around.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make it more not grounded, because he's more of a street level character than all this cosmic stuff all the time. Well, he just randomly did that here and there in the comics with like big events.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man's always a grounded, like Batman did big stuff when big events came up, but he's more of a grounded street level guy.
Think they're gonna get Hobgoblin there? I heard that because of the whole.
Oh yeah, I read rumors, but it's nobody knows
with his colors. But at the same time,
except for the release is gonna be July 30th, 2026. Yeah. That's the release date for the new Spider-Man movie.
Well, the interesting thing is that even with that whole spell that Doctor Strange did, that even though no one knows him between Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but if he reveals himself, they'll get their memories back because then the spell will be void.
There's gonna be one person if they do it based on the comics. What they did with
like the story,
like when Mephisto wiped everybody's memory out.
Because
there was one character that knew who he was. Mm-hmm. That was the Hulk, not Banner, because he was like talking to him in his suit, and there was a comic book panel, and the Hulk's talking to him, and he goes, Banner don't know your or Peter, Hulk does. Yeah.
He doesn't announce it, but he's aware.
Yeah, Hulk knew that it was still Peter because he was friends with Spider-Man. So he's he still knew it was Peter. Banner didn't know.
So you're saying there are people that know?
There'll be people that
from
know.
the storyline, if they were to go
like storyline, if they go based on
Brand New Day, there's a lot to it.
Even what certain things, like when Wong said, "Keep out whatever you're doing away from me," then he went through the thing. I guarantee Wong will know.
Oh, probably
because
he
wasn't affected by this. Keep whatever you're doing away from me. Basically, but I think somebody like the Hulk. Not Smart Hulk. That's just stupid.
Because if you think about it, they gotta have somebody. Because he's got to be able to have somebody to fall back on or relate to. You know, like
yeah. There's certain characters like the whole idea of like everybody's got to know who you are is dumb.
Yeah.
I know Marvel tries to get away from that. Like, we got to let everybody know. There's reasons why certain characters have secret identities.
Right. It's like
some's relatable, some isn't.
Like what happened in the comics. Part of the reason he wanted things to go back the way it was after Civil War is because supervillains were showing up at his aunt's house trying to kill her.
Yeah.
To use because they knew who he was.
Right.
It's certain people. They're not like Tony Stark that has billions of dollars, like almost $1 trillion. They have all these security guards and his technology to protect everybody around him. There's other guys that are like they're just who they are.
Yeah.
And everybody could like, how can Spider-Man be like if Spider-Man doesn't hold back? The funny thing about that character, if he doesn't hold back and he doesn't pull his punches. He whooped the X-Men in Secret Wars. The whole team.
Yeah.
He was ticked off.
Yeah,
there's a comic for that one. The comic, and this is a team that had Wolverine, Colossus, Cyclops, all these different characters. All these different. He whooped them.
Yeah,
Spider-Man did it.
Yeah, because he can. He can.
Really?
Yeah.
If he doesn't hold back, he's way stronger. And everything else than all those guys.
In that storyline, he's like, I don't have enough time for this. He wasn't putting up.
Yeah, because of what was going on. He didn't. He thought they were trying to like divide things up, and he whooped on them.
Yeah.
Like, and same with like Captain America. Captain America.
Yeah.
Peter like didn't hold back because even holding the shield, he blasted Cap. Cap ain't as strong as Spider-Man.
That's crazy.
Spider-Man pulls his punches.
Yeah.
But if he just goes full out like he did with Kraven back in that time he had the black suit on. That made him not been a little bit a part of it. But if he doesn't hold back, he ain't stopping that dude.
Yeah.
The only few characters that stop that dude.
His
agility and everything, his strength,
hypersensitivity,
his strength and everything. You get it. It's part of his personality that he's not going to just wreck a guy. If he was evil, he'd be killing dudes. He'd be killing dudes like crazy.
Right, but people don't understand it's because of what he's doing that he don't have.
It's like even Superman, like he's got to hold back. Like he can literally treat the most powerful thing on the planet and rip it like cardboard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He holds back because of the guy's personality, who the guy is as a character.
That's cool how that. That's
so cool. Spider-Man. Yeah, as long as they do it right. They wanted people. They wanted people. I think Sony wouldn't allow it, but they wanted to have Tom Holland as Spider-Man show up in the Daredevil show, the Born Again show.
Yeah.
But they couldn't They mention them in there because Kingpin mentions them during. Well, we got these vigilante. One dresses like a devil, a white tiger, and a guy in a spider suit running around. He doesn't like vigilantes running around.
I hope they bring back Iron Fist. Really,
they're talking about bringing the actual actors back that were in those Netflix shows that play the characters. Yeah,
but still.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so next one, the last of the movies that I wrote down was the new Tron movie. Did you guys hear about that?
I only heard a little bit of that.
It was a new Tron movie. It's called Digital. Well, it's the Digital War World Entering the Real World. That comes out October 10th, 2025.
Wonder how I'm gonna spin that.
I haven't seen any of them.
You never seen that?
I haven't seen any of the movies. No.
That's since the
original.
one.
Yeah, the original Tron was in the '80s, which they.
Then they came out another one.
In the 2000s they did stuff. The only problem with that one, because it was new technology then, was like the de-aging. Jeff Bridges looked weird in that movie, but the technology now that Marvel has used, because they had the technology to make guys look like their younger self, it looked great in like Ant-Man. They made Michael Douglas look like he did when he was younger in the '90s. It looked real. They did the same thing with Robert Downey Jr. Like when he was younger in the '90s with the de-aging technology. Yeah. But see, it wasn't quite there yet when they did the Tron 2, Tron Legacy, because it didn't look right. When he was younger, he's like, it doesn't quite look like it looks fake, because it was new technology at the time. But if they redid it and did the little scenes over, it would look great. I think the movie's good.
Weird science,
But that technology, the CGI that they tried using back then was new for that de-aging. Like, he looks like the guy from the '80s, but he didn't. He looked fake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the stuff they do nowadays, the technology caught up. So.
Well, just put it out there.
In a way, that makes sense though, because if it's artificial, in a way, it'll look artificial to a sense, because it's just a reimagining of what his memory was. It won't be real.
Those movies, movies are,
Yeah, I don't know anything about them. I just know that you guys did, and I figured I'd write it down because you guys would know.
Yeah, back in the day, I don't think the Oscars wouldn't put Tron in like the category of special effects, because it was too all fake computerized back then. Now you think about stuff nowadays, that's all a lot of special effects is nowadays.
Yeah.
But back then they wouldn't nominate them for special effects Oscar because of computer. It was like most of the movies computer back then in the early '80s. It's like
that's their light magic.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to move into a game.
Dun dun.
The infamous Smash It, Save It, or Refresh It.
Ooh.
And we're going to kind of stick to the theme with the superheroes.
Someone tells me this is going to be good.
We're going to stick to the theme of the superheroes.
Okay.
So Smash It, the game's gone forever. Save it, leave it alone because it's fine. Refresh it, make it into a new version. All right. So Fantastic Four is our first one. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And then The Death and Return of Superman. Smash it, save it, or refresh it.
What Fantastic Four are we talking about here?
2005 version.
The one based on the movie?
I have no idea. It just says Fantastic Four.
Based on the movie. Get rid of that. That's not even a game you want to get. It's a coaster. It's like this right here. It's a coaster.
Yeah.
Sorry for that, but I guess that's unanimous.
That's a coaster.
I can argue
That's a coaster.
Sorry.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance, leave it as is. Okay, yeah, the gold edition of that game's great, the story's great, and everything else. I think they did a misstep with the second one. But the first one's, that's great. The characters they have in it, the stages, everything else. The story, great. The cutscenes, all great. Redo Death. If you talk about Death and Return of Superman, you talk about like the Super Nintendo 16-bit.
It's the
Genesis
1994.
One.
So
yeah, it's a beat 'em up one. You can redo that one. Okay. It's fine as is too, but you can redo that one. I'd be fine with a really good Superman game again, because I haven't had one in a long time.
What do you think?
I haven't spent a lot of time with any of those games, so I'll agree with Dave.
Yeah, I haven't either.
You backed it up.
I haven't either. The only one I played is Marvel Ultimate Alliance, so I'm going to.
I mean, you could redo it, but you don't.
You're going to be playing that again, right? Because it's multiplayer.
Yeah, it's one of the games we're going to be playing soon.
So I'd like to add more to that later.
I do have a PS4 version of that and the second one, so we could play that all on together.
So I think I'm gonna leave the Marvel Ultimate Alliance alone because it's a good game. Fantastic Four gone forever because I don't know anything about it, and then the Death and Return of Superman. Make it a new version and try it out.
Is that something we could do, like when showing the games? Is actually backing up when these actual games that we're playing? And that's why.
Yeah,
we can say why.
I put it on
but
one
then
time with the drive. I played the Death and Return of Superman. I think I showed you that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the beat 'em up. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Hey, because I think I saw something in a yeah. All right, the next one, the Fifth Element, the PS1 version, Die Hard Trilogy, the PS1 version, and then the Howard the Duck game, the Commodore 64.
Wow, I haven't played these.
Do Die Hard Trilogy over again because
Okay.
there's certain aspects of that game that would have been good, but because I had that back in the day, like there's 3 games in one basically.
Yeah.
Redo that one. Fifth Element, I'd say leave it as is. That game's like but compared to Howard the Duck on Commodore, get rid of that one. Like yeah, Howard the Duck, cool and all, but like no, that like
could have better.
Out of those choices, because the game, all 3 of those games are like. Die Hard's the worst. I mean, the best out of the worst of those. So that's still kind of like it's still mediocre compared to other games. I mean, it's passable. You'll get some enjoyment out of it. So it's not like totally sucks or anything like that. I played it quite a bit, but there's other aspects you can.
Was it true to it though? It wasn't like a rendition.
It was just 3 different
of Home Alone or something.
No,
just moving around.
Like I think Die Hard, the trilogy part, like the third movie, Vengeance, where they're trying to you gotta like drive. There was like drive scenes where you gotta get to a certain checkpoint in a certain amount of time to in that game. There's certain things they could fix about that. So I'd say fix it. Fifth Element, just leave it as is because it's like I could do without that game. But the other ones just suck so bad. So just toss that one.
I'm surprised they haven't played that. Any of those, it ain't ringing a bell for me. But with Fifth Element, I'd say at least redo that because I really like the movie. I'm just gonna shout out that. So that's the first thing off the head. Die Hard Trilogy too, but it's hard for me to give an opinion on these games. The choices. First off the bat.
Now, if you were telling me that Die Hard, I can't remember if it's called Die Hard. Oh, it's Die Hard.
There's
Die Hard game by Sega.
That was the original
That's a beat 'em up Sega Saturn. It's a totally separate game.
Yeah.
But if you redid that or just brought it out and left it as, I'd be fine with it too if they brought it out. Sega brought it out.
That was gonna be the original. You see,
it's a 3D beat 'em up. It's a 3D beat 'em up.
Because I changed it to the trilogy because I wanted them to be similar. Game levels like PS1, 64.
Yeah, the Saturn one.
I wonder if they're gonna redo that franchise.
I don't know
what.
With Die Hard. McClane's son or something.
Yeah, he was in
the son and his daughter was in the movie.
So it's like, they don't need to go there.
Yeah, okay.
So there's certain things that they shouldn't remake. They just make it. They mess them
true.
up.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So what is your opinion on it?
Oh, yeah.
I think you said redo Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element, yeah.
Redo Fifth Element, Die Hard Trilogy.
Keep it
the way it is, and Howard the Duck, get rid of it.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, the Fifth Element.
That's hard because Howard the Duck,
I think. I think the Fifth Element. I'm going to make it into a new version. Die Hard, I'm going to keep it as it is because you said it's good. Mm-hmm. And then Howard the Duck, I'm going to get rid of it because I have no interest in it.
Respect for Howard the Duck. They need to make it good.
I haven't even seen the movie.
The original one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember we saw that to drive it as a kid because my mom would just take it to drive because it was cheap to go to the movies. And that's some stuff in that humor, and that's like, wait a minute, kids shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah.
No.
But that's before PG-13 really back then. But yeah, it's like, it's a Marvel character. It's originally the comic book panel, Howard the Duck on the page was him looking like he was Donald Duck. He was in a beat up sailor outfit. So it's like a spoof on that character. Like over the top humor, which James Gunn put him in the Guardians movies, which is fine.
That was cool.
That kind
a lot
of
of good actors and actresses too.
But it's a little that movie's.
All right, so this next game is called Mixed Feelings, and if you could take 2 superheroes, mix them together, who would they be, and what powers would they create?
Oh my gosh.
I would cheat though because I know what Marvel and DC did. I know what Marvel and DC did in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it could be any.
Because they did the Marvel vs. DC series, and they had a bunch of cards, and they put a bunch of the main characters, and they had fans vote on who would win. But they also combined them at a certain point because they combined the 2 big celestial beings that controlled each universe. They were like brothers, but they combined into one being.
Oh,
so they combined all the characters into.
That's crazy.
So they took Wolverine and Batman and combined them into a character.
What?
They took Sabretooth and Joker and combined into a character like Laughing Hyena. They took
that's crazy.
They took Superman and Captain America, which he looked cool, into one guy. They took, which everybody thought was funny, that like Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate were combined into one guy, but it was more than that. It was actually you took his helmet off, like Fate's helmet off. It was Professor Xavier. So they combined 3 guys into one. Like it was different stuff that they did with it.
That's kind of cool.
But I'm trying to think because I would cheat on that one. The Captain America combined with Superman was kind of cool.
Okay.
Because he had Cap's, he had kind of like Cap's suit on with like his hair coming out the top, so he had Cap's blonde hair. He had the shield, but the shield was like Superman's symbol. He had Superman's powers and different things, so that character is kind of cool, in my opinion.
So that'd be
kind of cool.
Okay, what about you?
Hulk and Nightcrawler.
Wow.
Hulk with a teleport.
Teleport? Yeah.
Hulk disappear.
I know, but it would be a mix of both because it wouldn't be like totally Hulk because Hulk.
So it'd be like
strength,
chicken legs.
No, a mix. So then you'd have the agility, but then you could teleport and you would have the acrobatics and all that, but then it'd still be
see me playing. Yeah, me.
not just bulk muscle, awesome. But I mean like core muscle. Just be like.
The funny thing is, me playing certain games reminds me of characters in a Fallout and Fallout. I think it's Fallout New Vegas. The super mutants, there's a version that like would be invisible. They're like purple looking dudes. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, it's a giant because they look like giant Hulk guys, but they're purple versions that can disappear. Like they're totally invisible the whole time. Like, wait a minute, and they like attack you. And you're like, who's hitting you? But that kind of reminds me of what you're saying. I'm thinking that'd be kind of funny, to be honest with you. Hulk disappeared, get you.
So my character.
Hulk smash.
I made this character up when I was like 13.
Talk about scary. Yeah.
And my two favorite heroes at the time. This is like because I liked Gambit too, but this was back in the day when I was reading the comic books, and I would take. You guys have heard me talk about this. I think I'd take Spider-Man and Wolverine and mix them together and call them Spiderine. So I'd have like
it's catchy.
I'd be able to swing with Spider-Man's webs.
Yeah.
And then I would have the adamantium claws that would come out.
Close range, long range.
And his healing abilities. And then the spider senses. I mean, I'd be unstoppable.
Let alone the healing factor.
I would think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rock 'em, sock 'em.
Yeah.
Wow. Spider-Man.
So that'd be mine. I'd call myself Spiderine.
Spiderine.
So this next game is the last game, and then we've got the study to get into. Got the word to get into. This one I made up. It's called Who Am I? So these are riddles, and these are, like every game has the main character, but what else do they have? Most of them have a sidekick. Yeah. So this is what it's gonna be. You're gonna have to guess the sidekick.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay.
Drum roll.
I laugh every time you miss.
What's the sidekick from, though?
You have to guess. You have to guess who it is in the game. Who it is in the game it's from.
Was it the dog from Duck Hunt?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Comes up out of the. Nice.
I fly, shoot eggs, and I don't even know what that says.
It's your handwriting.
I know. Okay. And pluck enemies. I am number 2 on the 2. Oh wait, no, this is okay. Sorry. I fly, I shoot eggs, and pluck enemies.
Shoot eggs.
Yeah, I fly, I shoot eggs, and I pluck enemies.
And the sidekick.
The sidekick. I'm sure you guys probably played it.
Yeah, I probably
played
it.
I think it's PS1, maybe? I'll give you that hint. Maybe 64? Maybe 64. I don't know. It's in that time era. It's in that time era. Oh, yeah. So, it's Nintendo.
Who was Yoshi?
No.
I didn't know if there's a special ability where you jump up. No?
You give up?
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's
the bird that's on the
There's 2 characters, yeah.
All right.
One's Banjo, one's Kazooie.
This is the last one.
Okay.
I am number 2 on the 2. I can be controlled or let loose. I'm part of a set of 2, but not a twin. Who am I?
Tails?
Yes!
I
got it, yeah!
Wow.
So I can be controlled. Nice. I can be let loose. And
yeah.
Run around with one player or whatever.
I thought I was going to make that hard. That was a good one. That was good. All right. That's freaking awesome. So, yeah, that's the new game, Who Am I? What do you think of that
Very
one?
cool.
Yeah,
fun.
The funny thing is the Banjo-Kazooie
wow.
popped in my head, but I was like, it can't be Banjo-Kazooie because I was just like, those are two characters. Banjo and Kazooie are the two characters.
Yeah.
It can't be that. But
yeah, it was his sidekick. I mean, he's with him.
Maybe like Ratchet and Clank.
I've been humbled.
I thought about like the Donkey Kong, but some of that stuff's too easy. Luigi.
Ratchet and Clank would be one that you could do. Jackson Daxter from Sony and stuff like that.
A lot of them is too easy. But these are just random things I made up. I had to like, man, how am I supposed to explain it without explaining it? You know. Anyways, that's that game. That was a new one. So that's the end of that. We can move on to the study. Oh boy. And I don't know where my Bible is. We looked for it. It's hidden somewhere around here. So we're gonna have to look it up, which is fine. It's gonna be on 1 Samuel.
Oh,
that's what I was telling you.
Yeah, stuff that's been popping up for me this last week, and
1 Samuel
waking me up already.
1740 through 51. That's why when you brought that up last night, I was like, oh, here you go. And this is
David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was listening to a study on it this week. I'm like,
well, a lot of it's been coming up a lot more because of the show that's on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
The David thing.
Which
I have my opinions on biblical movies or TV shows because they always take artistic license and add stuff. That's why I always have a problem.
I don't know anything about it. That's why
you can take historical stuff, but most of the time I don't want to watch the stuff because it's like.
Yeah. That's like with the new series, The Chosen. One of the guys that watched like the first episodes was talking about, the Good Samaritan. It was like a spin-off of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think Jesus was working with I think it was one of the guys that beat up the Good Samaritan or beat up the guy that left him in the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bad person that. So like Jesus was working with that guy, one of the guys that beat the guy up and left him dead in the road was working with him in the field, so they used that to do something. So like we were saying, like it's not biblically accurate.
Yeah, I didn't realize the guy. It was just a story that he gave.
Yeah, that never happened. But it
was a story.
Yeah, they took.
Yeah, but that's why in 1 Timothy or 2 Timothy 3:16, I believe that all Scripture is given by God.
Oh crap! Dang it! No.
And for reproof, rebuke, instruction, righteousness, that the man of God may be thoroughly furnished into every good work. Sound doctrine. Line upon line, precept upon precept.
There's okay.
Just paraphrase about
what the heck? Oh, why is it
Scripture is written.
Okay, that's why. Okay. Right. I'll
prove all things.
I'll read through this that way, because you usually do it, but I think I'll do it this time.
Okay.
But no, if I have the Bible around, then. Anyways, do you want to lead us in prayer?
Sure. Dear Lord God, dear Savior, dear Holy Spirit, thank you for this time to get in your Word, Lord. I pray for guidance as we read through 1 Samuel chapter 17, and just pray that your seed find good ground, and just for ears to hear, and for blessing as you direct. And thank you for your sacrifice for our sins and the hope of glory with you forever. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now, just want to get one thing straight. I'm not a pastor. This is just, I listen to studies at work, and there's things I hear that I want to share, things that I think could probably help people out, in their daily life and things. So I just wanted to get that out there. I'm in no way anywhere near a pastor, but I'm called to have fellowship. So that's what we're doing. We're going to look at 1 Samuel 17 verses 40 through 51. I'm going through the King James version because that's the one that I'm familiar with. And he took, verse 40, and he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in his scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. 41. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves?
Yeah.
And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. And the Philistine said to David, Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. Then said David, this is awesome. Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of armies of Israel, with thou, or whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts, the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew near to meet David, that David hastened and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. David put his hand in his bag, took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote Philistine in his forehead, and the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine, and slew him, but there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore David ran and stood up upon the Philistine, and took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. So I said all that to say these. We all have giants in our life. We all face hardships, trials, and temptations. We gotta look up 1 Corinthians 10:13. That's going to be important.
1 Corinthians 10:13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops. Come on. Big fingers. Okay. Oh, yeah, I had the screenshot. Dang it.
Oh my God.
So there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So the first point, we all are giants, and they are defeatable. David knew the battle belonged to the Lord. Point 3, David went after Goliath. He attacked the problem, and we need to do the same. We all have crap going on in our lives, and we need to attack the problem. Point 4, David finished the giant off. If you don't deal with the problem will deal with you. It will finish you off. Then Colossians 2:14. Come on. It doesn't like that one. Blotting out the handwriting of ordinance that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. So with that being said, God finished it.
It is finished.
So now we're going to go back to 1 Corinthians 10:13. That is just like a callback to that. God will give us a way out. So hang in there,
Amen.
guys.
Amen.
Trust in the Lord. And if you do the right thing, God is going to be there for us. Do you guys have anything else to add to that? Any thoughts, feelings?
Well, my first thought is just how that, in Scripture, I can't remember exactly the verse, but, let your yea be nay and your nay be nay, all else cometh of evil. It's a big thing to say no to things and not compromise, say no, because we're to, flee, sexual immorality, things that are wrong, boundaries that are outside that healthy pasture perimeter that God has made for us. And I know sometimes I've used the example before where, it's like, I've been tempted to eat a donut. No one's making you eat the donut. You're either choosing to do so or not. And say no. I know some people can use that lightly. Say if you need a pen right there. Oh, could I steal your pen from you? It's like, stealing. He's stealing. If you want to use the pen, then ask. Sure. It's just things that we say, or sometimes I think our thinking is, but unless we're looking at through, the lens of Scripture and God's written word, to know right and wrong and truly how we are, where we are, but it's in truth, that we need Him, and we can't, in our own ability, saying this reverently, stepping out on a branch, that the Lord said, without me, you can do nothing, and we gotta know we're weak. His strength is made perfect in weakness. It's for our good to His glory, and to have on the whole armor of God. It makes me think, to be able to bear it, that there's a way of escape. That you gotta have, to take up the shield of faith, the whole armor of God. For the shield of faith, which quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. It's a battle. There's spiritual warfare. It's true. It's real. And we need to be able. We can't just. I think that where I've been weak in my life is things where I've compromised, made bad choices. But then when you have and you're walking in the light, you're saying no to things that you need to. Then okay, I'm doing what's right. Instead of we have a conscience. When we do wrong, we know it. And there's things that, let alone us or those around us, how that affects us. Let alone, just in a comparison to, Daniel, this in the lion's den, it's just, when, despite the circumstances around or the storm, that we need the Lord. We need to follow Him.
And this example shows, David, he knew and he trusted in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That
well, makes me think Psalm 23, how, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He knew, David was, he was out there,
and he went into it.
Was fighting lions too when he was young. There's a lot of stuff that before this moment, he was equipped and prepared for. And
he went to the fight equipped and prepared, and then he knew if he didn't finish it off, that it was going to come back.
Yep.
So if you don't deal with your sin, then it's going to come back. It's like the dog returns to his own vomit.
Yes, in Scripture.
So
I remember. I'm thinking of Pastor Ron, God bless his soul. I remember a long time ago, I think it was an analogy of sin, when you think, it's a little kitten, it's harmless, it ain't a big deal, but then what's it grow into? A tiger, if you let it and, you feed it, it'll come back and it will kill you.
Yeah. So that's
if you don't deal with it.
It's,
Well, we'll use the picture of stuff because we
I
talked about Ron before, but like Goliath being, you're like, I don't know if a guy that big would actually exist, but like the whole idea of like because of how cubits high, being anywhere from 9 to 10 feet tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
At one point, he was a baby.
Yeah.
Right.
A little. How quickly you let something grow in your life that you don't take care of. Well, that doesn't seem like it's harmless, like you're saying. It's just a baby. What you can do? And then a week later, you're like, wow, wait a minute, who are you?
Yeah.
Remember me, Dad? Wait a minute, let me wreck you.
Well, this is interesting. I think I told you one time there was this. I read it somewhere, and it's an interesting analogy though. But it had to do where a person. I'll just say this ain't being sexist or anything, but a woman had a pet snake or whatever because some people like to have pet snakes. Well, anyway, she would allow the snake in the bed.
Yeah.
Because of warmth or whatever. And, she went to like a person. This is going off this story. But the point of it. Well, I'll get to in a second. But it had to do with this snake. So it started growing. And then she was wondering, why is this thing growing? And then she went to a person who's like, how long you've been letting you need to get that thing away from you right now? She's like, well, why? And she's like, that thing ain't growing. It's preparing to eat you. It's adjusting to your size before it eats you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the snake thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you don't have certain pets around.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because
it's measuring, like it's laying next to me, straightening out. I don't know. It's like it never done that before. It's because it's measuring to see if it can eat you.
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So that's another good study. Another good podcast. Had a great time. Some new games in there.
Me rambling on.
Yeah.
Ranting.
Yeah, Deranged Dave going off on a tangent, which is fine. We love that around here.
It's funny that because he brought it up in his thing about like he's like actually the first channel I ever started following when I started following you because I didn't subscribe to channels before. But Tyrone Magnus's reactions on stuff I like or not like, back in the day, I liked his reactions because they were just him. Mm-hmm. And he said something about he won't change. He's always the same. And I as much as I may not want to hurt somebody's feelings about stuff, I'm not going to change who I am just because you don't like my opinion.
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel. That's why I brought him up. I don't like, you can like what you like, and you can do what you do. It doesn't mean I'm going to be like, exactly. Oh yeah, buddy.
It doesn't mean that
I like that too. And when I really think it's stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
I might not dump all over you, but I'm not gonna pander to the whole idea of like, man, that like if I like say that you were because you like the Sabres, but say that you were like a Detroit Pistons fan or a New York Knicks fan, which I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, so I don't like those teams.
Yeah, but
that'd be like me, man. Those Knicks are great, buddy, because you love them. Oh, those Pistons, I hate their guts.
Right.
I'm not getting like there's no way. There's no way, like it was stuff
well, it's
like.
funny, I like that. Like you don't have to agree with everything that I agree with, but we can be civil about it. And it's okay. You have your team, I have my team. When the game's done, we're still friends.
Yeah, so it's like it's like I don't. I might not necessarily dump on you just because you like something, but like the whole idea, I'm not going to be like.
You have some banter, but
I like that too. When I inside, I'm like, this is really dumb.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Along with what we were saying before, we all have.
I'm not going to apologize for that. My heart's not to offend really anybody. But if I do,
it is
that's you.
Yeah.
But you're being honest.
I get offended by things too.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Everybody gets offended. Everybody gets butthurt. It is what it is.
Yep.
But we're still friends. We all have 3 different opinions. That's why I like doing this. That's why I love doing this, because we all have 3 different opinions.
And the best comes out of it.
Exactly. We all.
You guys like Thor. You guys like Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
I think it's not worth my time or the toilet paper I would use to wipe my butt with it. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's
right. There's things I do, entertainment. We get all entertainment from something. I don't want to sit
no soup for you.
I don't want to sit for 2 hours of something and be like, just to give my bad reaction. We're going to start doing that, unfortunately, for me.
Yeah.
But it's good, though, because you have valid points, and it's nice to look at it from another perspective in that regard.
Yeah.
I still like what I like, but that's because I like it. But
yeah, it's like the whole, I brought up before Endgame.
Thank you for your honesty.
Like Avengers Endgame.
Transparency.
It made more money than in all the other ones. In comparison, that movie sucks.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's just... I didn't even finish watching it.
Yeah.
I knew what was going to happen the whole time. I spoiled it on purpose when I started watching. Never went to theaters to watch it. But before, I would watch something like 3 or 4 or 5 times at the theater. But when I heard about the movie, and I spoiled it on purpose, I had no interest in going to see it. But when I finally started watching it, I couldn't even get through the last battle. The movie annoyed me.
Yeah.
There's so many things about that with some of the characters they did. As a fan, it just annoyed me. Like so people are like, well, the game's so great. If you love it, you love it. If you don't, I don't. I think Infinity War is a million times better, story wise, seriousness of it, and how they portray the characters. Fat Thor, Smart Hulk being really stupid, Spider-Man swinging around without his mask on when he finally comes back to life, letting everybody know he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then everything. Let's make her overpowered more than the Infinity Gauntlet. Captain Marvel, give me a break. Thanos without the gauntlet would drop her like a bad habit.
Yeah.
Well, some of these characters, knowing their tragic flaw or whatever in their character arc, that's what makes it, something. Well, how do they respond to that?
That's what Stan Lee did back in the 60s. He made characters that were flawed. Like Spider-Man had all the problems of a teenager. Like, people, kids that were reading it could relate to him.
Exactly.
Because at the time, DC, their characters, the way they were writing them, Superman, Batman, and all these other characters that were treating it like your dad or your parents. Don't do this, don't do that. They acted like, but the way he portrayed, like, the Fantastic Four being the family that wasn't perfect. Because that they are. They're a family that's flawed as all could be. Johnny's always messing with the thing.
Yeah.
Like pulling pranks on him. They cause problems. Reed's always he's ignoring his wife because he's too focused on his work and different things. It's like they're flawed characters.
Well, one of the things that I always like when I had comics, it'll still stick out. I always remember that even though, say Hulk had his issues and all that stuff, he had the story, but then there was an ad in there for anger management for people if they need suicide prevention or whatever in the comics. I thought that okay,
that's
here's
crazy,
a story,
yeah.
but if you need help, if there's someone to talk to,
that's cool.
That always stuck with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's gonna wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a good one to go out on. So thanks you guys for your time. Thanks for hanging out and shooting a breeze and playing the games with me and doing this. This is always a good time.
Praise the Lord.
A lot of great topics we get into, and then we get into the Word. So nothing beats that. But yeah, thanks guys for showing up, and thanks guys for watching. Appreciate the support. If you liked what you're seeing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like us and share us. Come check us out on Facebook, One Eye Truckin' Gaming. Check us out on TikTok. We're now on TikTok. We do have an email address. If you need to get a hold of us for any reason to slap us around or comment on anything, leave a comment in the. I'll get back to it. Leave a comment down below for any videos you watch to get a shout out. Become part of the Broken Controller Club. We do have an email address. That's Game+Chat+and Chill@yahoo.com. And don't forget, guys, just keep gaming.
Good one.